Andy Johnson, we are looking at reading instruction for students with intellectual disabilities. Now, in the past, students with intellectual disabilities were not thought capable of learning to read, so they received little or no reading instruction. Now, it's hard for anybody to learn anything if they are not taught or if they have had limited exposure. As well, students with intellectual disabilities tended to enter school with much less exposure to print when compared to their non-disabled peer. Parents are instead concerned with survival skills or simply trying to cope. As a result, many adults with intellectual disabilities are either illiterate or underliterate, and this severely limits their freedom and impacts employment and other opportunities. There are three general approaches to reading instruction for students with intellectual disabilities, and we will look at each one. First of all, sight word instruction. Traditionally, this was the sole approach to reading instruction for students with intellectual disabilities. Reading instruction consisted primarily of this because they did not think this population was capable of learning to read. And this was done with students with mild, moderate, and severe intellectual disabilities. Sight word instruction consists of asking students to simply memorize a set of functional words or survival words. These are words found in their environment, words, pictures, and symbols, such as danger, hot, exit, flammable, boys, girls, poison, etc. This is not the same as sight word instruction as recognized in the broader literacy community, where we ask students to memorize 100 to 200 most common words, fry, dosh, zeno, or most frequent. There is no research to support the purely sight word approach for any population. Sometimes this is called the look-say approach. Sometimes this is misconstrued as whole language by those people who know nothing of whole language. It is reasonable to spend a small bit of instructional time focusing on sight words for beginning readers, and this would be 5 to 10 minutes a day. The second one is phonics approach. Research has shown that students with intellectual disabilities at all levels, mild, moderate, and severe, can benefit from phonics instruction. That means they can learn to generalize and apply these skills in other contexts in order to identify unknown words. Now, students may master behavioral objectives, but this does not mean they learn how to create meaning with print. Often in special education settings, this becomes the primary focus, and this is a problem because students are given few opportunities to engage in authentic reading activities and authentic writing activities where they are asked to write, to communicate, and share their ideas. There is little evidence to support a phonics-based instructional program as having any significant long-term effect on students' ability to create meaning with print. Research does show that phonics scores go up with direct instruction of anything, including phonics, with this population, but this does not mean or does not show that they're able to or better able to create meaning with print. Instead, reading instruction becomes abstract and meaningless for a population that needs experiences to be concrete and immediate. Now, phonics instruction is necessary but not sufficient. It should not be the sole component or main focus of any reading program for any population. It should be balanced. You cannot direct instruction your way to reading achievement. It just doesn't happen. So what should it look like? It should be comprehensive. Students with intellectual disabilities learn to read using the same cognitive processes as other students. This is not a different species. These are human beings. So students with intellectual disabilities should be taught to read using methods similar to other students. The difference is in kind, not in degree. It should be comprehensive, contextual, and focus on creating meaning with print. So reading instruction for all beginning readers should focus on these elements. And you can stop the tape and look at it here, but yes, phonics should be a part of it. Word identification is different from phonics, People often don't understand that. There are 6 ways to identify words, and you can see it there. But comprehension, writing, reading whole connected text, and dealing with the emotional element. And I've talked about this in other places. Now, the 4 blocks approach is one such comprehensive approach to teaching reading, and there's a good body of research that has shown this to be effective with students with intellectual disabilities, both in general ed and in special ed settings. Here, students receive a mix of traditional and holistic instruction, 4 types of instruction presented each day, focusing on word work, guided reading used to teach skills in context, writing using a workshop approach, and self-selected reading or a reading workshop approach here. 4 blocks. So some basic general recommendations for teaching reading: use direct and explicit instruction to teach phonics, but this should occur within the context of whole, connected, meaningful text to the greatest degree possible. Provide daily opportunities for students to read real books at their independent level or below, and or listen to high-quality children's literature. And provide daily opportunities for students to engage in authentic writing activities, where they write and describe their ideas and their experiences. And here are some ideas for writing instruction for beginning readers. They can include all of these things, and you can stop the tape and listen to that, or stop the video. And then use authentic literature or whole connected text to teach comprehension skills. And comprehension skills are at a developmentally appropriate level. Just some ideas. Teaching reading to students with intellectual disabilities.